the primary mistake that most people make when they're doing a top-down analysis is they're going to look at what's going on the hot on the highest time frame with the most amount of time. Nobody cares what happened back in 2024. All we need when you do a top-down analysis and you start on the week is the last 10, 8 to 10 bars. Okay. 8 to 10 bars. So now what we're going to do now that we have this little bit of structure, the market moves in three phases: impulse, correction, continuation. Okay. So from the low, impulse, correction, continuation, correction, continuation. All right. We're looking at gold right now. And what we expect from gold is that it's always going up because that's how gold trends. So we're obviously going to be looking for buys here. Okay. So now that we've identified that, the next step that we're going to look at is we're going to look at the break of structure. Okay. So market was here, then it came down here. This formed a break of structure right here. Boom, meaning it broke above here. So before this structure broke, what was the last candle before the break of structure? And it was this candle, right? So this means this turns into a weekly order block. Okay. Weekly order block in this zone. Okay. Let's mark it out. So what we expect in this zone is we expect market to not pass below it, but continue past it. Okay. So this is all the details that we need on this time frame, right? Impulse, correction, continuation, correction. Now we're expecting market to go up on the weekly time frame. Now let's go to the day. Okay. So now that we're on the daily time frame, we can see much more detail. Okay. So again, impulse, correction, continuation. Correction, right? Because we didn't break this low. So we're going to expect a continuation. All right. So on the day, we also don't need a whole bunch of detail, but let's just focus on what's going on right here. Okay. So the last structure was this structure: impulse, right? We broke this high right here. Important. Broke the high, correction, continuation, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a fib from the bottom to the top of this last structure right here, okay? And we see that the fib came down to the 70.5. So this means we're going to be targeting take profit one here, take profit two, okay? Let me go ahead and mark them. Take profit one, okay? And take profit two. These are the two price targets that we're looking at overall. And again, we're looking at the daily time frame at the moment. Okay. So that's the details that we have. Okay. Impulse, correction, continuation, because we have our weekly bias and we're currently in this order block. Okay. Um, so again, here we are on the day. We just broke this high with this. So this would be the order block that we would be expecting to push past. And again, price is kind of floating in this order block on the daily. Impulse, correction, continuation. We kind of broke this high, but let's go to the 4 hour to see a little bit more details. Okay. So now we're on the 4 hour. We did have a close above this. Okay, that is good. So the order block that we're going to be focused on, which is the descending candle before the bullish move, would be this one. This is the order block. And it seems like we actually tapped the order block. Okay, so let's go ahead and zoom in here. Boom. Okay. So this is a 4 hour order block. Okay. Change the color to yellow so we can see. Okay, cool. So impulse, correction. Now we're in the continuation. Okay. At the 70.5. So now we're in this structure on the 4 hour. Okay. Broke this, broke a structure. So now here we are. Okay. So now let's try and zoom in and see some more details of what we may be or where we can possibly enter this trade idea. Okay. So let's remove this other fib. Let's put this fib on from this low to here. Okay. Same thing. Hit the 61.8, 70.5. So we will be targeting, yep, take profit one, take profit two. That adds. So we're good to go. Okay, cool. So what we want to see is let's actually go down to we want a break of structure. We want to see some structure break. All right. So we want to see market break above and then retest the order block and then come down, right? So if market passes these highs right here, this is what we're looking to happen. We're looking for these highs to break. Okay. Looking for these highs to break. And then we want to come back into the order block that push price up. Okay. That's really what we want to see. And then that's when we'll get in. But because we don't have that playing out on gold, this is where we're going to stop our analysis and then we're going to see what happens. So I only like to trade Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because Sunday and Monday, normally what happens is the price is still continuing from what happened last week. Okay. So generally speaking, on Sundays and Mondays, I just want to see do a top down from weekly, daily to 4 hour, and just have these details and have an expectation of what I'm trying to see. Okay. So we just went over gold. Let's go over another chart so you can see things a little bit more clearly. Okay. This is the weekly. So weekly, it has been extremely bullish, right? On the weekly. Again, we are only going to focus on these. However, we are at a major zone up here, right? We are at a major zone. So again, I'm not really feeling this on the weekly, so let's go on. Weekly, you can get like a good overall view of like what's happening. Okay, let's go ahead and do GU because I marked GU up last week and I am expecting a certain thing to happen. So I'll show you exactly what I was seeing. Okay. So on the weekly time frame, here we are, right? Last couple candles, impulse, correction, continuation. Now we're in a deep correction, right? This was the high that was broken, the break of structure, right? So this would be the order block. Boom, boom. It's the order block. And this is what was very interesting about this, right? We're currently underneath it, right? So I don't know if this wants to break or if this wants to go up. But before we were looking for it to only come down here, right? Because we're looking for correction, right? But now that we're kind of down here, let's look at it at the day and see. Uh, this is the low. It's not looking clean. So let's go on to the next chart. We want to see some like really good and clean market structure. Ooh, okay. Euro USD looks good. I could tell immediately, right? So again, here we are in Euro USD. If we look at the past couple weeks, right? Impulse, correction, continuation, right? Now we're up here. We just passed these highs, so we're looking for a correction, right? And then we're going to continue up. Okay. So again, first things first, identify the past high. This is the past high, right? We broke past the high, meaning we're going higher. This is the order block. So boom, boom. Okay. Weekly order block. And this is so good because where we're at right now, we already see that last week it already started to reject a little bit at that zone. Okay. So let's go to the daily. Let's see. So we're in the order block now. Now, again, on the daily, we don't really have too much details. We just have this continuation. Now we're in the correction. So let's go to the 4 hours so we can see what the reverse has done. All right, so you have a lot of ups and downs, impulse correction, continuation, all the way down, right? But we're in a weekly order block. So now we're expecting price to turn around. We have this candle, which kind of, I guess you could say this kind of signified a break of structure, but not really. It's looking kind of strange down here, right? But what I will say is this did break up here. Let's go down to the hour and see if we can see a little bit more details. We're looking for buys, right? Because we're in this order block zone. So we actually tapped the order block and then we closed above the order block, right? So we're gonna look at this. So this is the high. We came down here. Okay, cool. Let's show you this structure. Let's show this structure now, right? This seems like this was probably some manipulation. So we're just gonna ignore this and we're gonna go to the next candle. So this was the high. Okay. This was the high right here. Break of structure. And the break of structure means that we're going to keep going up, right? Because it created a new higher high. Okay. So cool. It looks like we're currently in an order block on this time frame right now. So let's go. This would be the order block for the hour. right? The candle that broke. But let's go to the 4 hour, just double check and see if we have any other. Okay, yeah, so this would be the 4 hour order block. So let's go ahead and just go ahead and do the 4 hour order block. So we have like the whole zone. Okay, that's the whole zone right there. Okay, 4 hour order block. Okay, let's go to the hour. Okay. So now that we're in this order block, what we're going to be expecting is we're going to be expecting price to push out past this. Okay. So we had an impulse, broke the structure, correction into the order block, and now we're going to expect a continuation. So let's go ahead and draw fib down here to here. Okay, 38.2, right? But what we're going to be ideally seeing, we want it to push outside the order block, right? But if we were to just make a trade idea based on this, it would look something like this, right? We would go to the negative 27, right? Then ideally we would, oop, my pops is calling me. Okay. Um, cool. Sorry about that. Quick break. Just had to talk to my dad. So again, ideally, when I do trades like this, I actually want the stop loss underneath the structure, right? So again, this would be like a nice one-to-one trade, right? But again, overall, we're looking at it to go higher. So we could easily put the stop loss here. This is going to be take profit two. And then now this becomes like a 1 to 1 to 5. The thing about this is to be safe, right? Again, we don't know what's happening Sunday and Monday. So who knows? Price could come down, form a lower high, and then we take it up, right? So this is just what I'm going to place for now. All right, Euro USD. Let's do one more, and I think you guys will get the strategy down. And then, I'll fill in some blanks. I'll probably record some other videos and show you guys how to trade or how to use certain things that I'm using on my chart. Okay, check out USD JPY. Okay, USD JPY. Here we are on the week. And again, you only want the last couple candles. You don't want too much detail, right? So looks like we have an impulse, correction, continuation. That's what it's looking like right now. So let's go ahead and draw this to here. Okay, and it looks like we're passing this high too. So this is really good. This is actually like a good setup on the week, right? So on the week, let's go ahead and draw that fib one more time. Impulse correction, continuation. So we're going to be looking at this to be our first target, this first weekly target. Okay. This is where we're looking for things to go. Okay, so let's go down to the day. Let's try and see this like last piece of structure. All right. So okay, so we broke the high, we broke this high, and we broke this high, which is really good. So broke this high, broke this high. So this is the order block that we're going to look at on the day. Okay. Ideally, we would love for the price to come into this zone on the daily before we come up, right? Obviously, it came close, but no cigar. Let's bring this up a little bit more. All right, cool. Yeah, so we haven't really gotten much of a retracement, but let's go ahead and draw from here to here and let's see. Okay, so this was a 23.6, meaning okay, so we're gonna come up here. This take profit one, which hit. So the next target is really gonna be right here. This is really what we're gonna be targeting because 23.6 means there's a lot of momentum. So this is probably what we're gonna be targeting. So now let's go to the 4 hour and see what structure looks like. Okay, so structure on the 4 hour is looking pretty good. Okay, so impulse correction continuation. We might be going down. Looks like there was some movement here. Still looking kind of high. I don't see any really core break of structures or anything happening here. Looks like a bit of consolidation. Again, this is 4 hours, so this is 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. This is like almost 2 days worth of consolidation, right? So again, we don't really see anything, but we are going to be expecting markets to come down here. So we're going to eyeball this for USD JPY. And again, this is an easy strategy to help you understand where you're at in the market and what to look for before you enter your trade idea. Okay, so I really hope that helps. Expect more videos. I actually really enjoy doing these. Go ahead and join my Telegram. It's totally free. Free signals, free community. Follow Growth Bank on Instagram, on X. Follow me personally, Mata on Instagram, Mata Thomas on Twitter. And yeah, we're good to go. Thanks, guys.